"You dingbat!" a voice yelled at Nathan. In a few hours he will turn 18 years old, and he spent his day cleaning the basketball court. He had pleaded with the coach to give him the cleaning contract, instead of hiring a professional cleaner to do the job. He looks up to see the owner of the unfriendly voice, only to get his face covered in a dirty, sweaty, smelly towel. "I want that properly washed," Bernard said. "It's expensive. You probably can't afford it, even if you spent your entire life mopping basketball courts. So, you better not ruin my towel." Nathan glared at Bernard in anger. He clenched his fist and approached him. "Be civil with your choice of words." Bernard groaned, pulling Nathan's hair. Bernard was tall and huge, unlike small lanky Nathan. His masculine build was quite attractive. "What did you say?" Bernard continued pulling his hair. "Will you wash the towel or not?" "I never said I wouldn't wash it, just be civil while talking to me. That's all." Nathan struggled to push Bernard away. The harder he tried, the weaker he became. "Let go of me." Bernard tossed him aside. "I think I will just tell the coach to terminate your contract." "No, please. I'll wash it. Properly." Nathan managed to force out the words. "I need this job." "Then be a good servant boy." Bernard grinned. "You know, I envy everyone you have never met. You're like an end piece of a loaf of bread. I would love to insult you, but I'm afraid I won't do it as well as nature did." Nathan stood there, glaring at him. His cheeks burned from anger, his eyes fighting back the threatening tears that built. He realized he had no right to vent out on Bernard. Only nature could be blamed for cursing his mother with cancer. The finances in the house started going worse when his mother discovered she had cancer of the blood. His father literally spent every penny he saved and even took out loans, yet she was still battling with the disease. Nathan picked the towel from the floor and tossed it into the laundry basket. Several other towels and basketball wares belonging to his other teammates were also in there. He knew he had to work hard to afford his fees at college, even if it meant cleaning the basketball court and washing their pants. "Hey, bonehead!" Bernard took a step forward. "You are only a servant around here, so put your anger in check and stay in your place. A servant has no right to get angry at his masters. Understand? The only person here that needs understanding is you." Charlotte stepped onto the basketball court, cat-walking towards the boys. She looked directly into Bernard's eyes. "You need to understand that he is not your servant. As a matter of fact, no one here is." "Charlotte," Bernard said, looking at Charlotte, the captain of the cheerleading team. "Yes?" Charlotte folded her arms across her chest. "Pick your dirty towel from the laundry basket and leave." "Oh, please no. I don't want any problems. I'll wash it." Nathan muttered. "No, he will take back his towel or ask you nicely to do his laundry." Charlotte insisted. "He is only doing his job." Bernard groaned, but stopped halfway. Reminding himself Charlotte was his captain's girlfriend and dreading her will automatically get him blacklisted on the team. "Will you take care of my paycheck?"
"I'm sorry."
Charlotte muttered. "I didn't mean it like that. Just meant, stand up for yourself." Nathan ignored her, focusing on his work. "Tomorrow is my birthday," Charlotte said, standing on the tip of her toe to stare over Nathan, while he bent to scrub the floor. "Happy birthday," Nathan replied without looking up. "I wish you all the best." Charlotte relaxed on her feet. "I was thinking if you're not busy tomorrow night, you could come to my party?" "Huh." Nathan looked over at her. No one had ever invited him to their party before at school. It seemed as if he was locked out, living in a separate world. Now the girlfriend of the basketball captain inviting him to her birthday party? He wasn't sure how to feel about it. "I'm having a birthday party tomorrow night. Can you come? I'd like to have you there." Charlotte gave him a charming smile. Nathan huffed. "Are you being serious right now?" "Yup." Charlotte nodded. "You're invited to my party." "Well," Nathan shrugged. "I would come if I could." "So, is that a yes or no?" The smile on Charlotte's face disappeared. "Well," she sighed this time, "I don't know. Let's see." Nathan turned to face his job. He really wanted her to leave. She was distracting him. "Oh yeah, She had rich parents. There was no way she would understand the hardship money came with or value time. Charlotte shrugged disappointedly and left. That was not the kind of response she had expected, but oh well, like they say, expectations hurt. She could hear Nathan's phone ring as she left. "Hello? Baby." Nathan spoke into the phone. "Baby, thank goodness you called. I was having such a terrible day. That's not why I called. Oh, please spare me all that." Annabel's voice was husky and pissed. "I am not interested in any of that." Nathan nodded sadly, understanding Annabel was not in the mood. "How are you?" he managed to ask. Annabel's voice came out quickly over the phone. "There's a birthday party I need to attend tomorrow. Our cheerleading captain is celebrating her birthday tomorrow night in a grand style. All my friends and cheerleaders will be going." Nathan frowned deeply. Charlotte's birthday party was the least of his problems. "For the record, I'm not going," he said firmly. "Who's asking you to?" Annabel laughed. "There's no way she'll even invite you to her party." "That's not why I called anyway." "Why did you call?" "I was working," Nathan said. "I need $1,000 to buy a red dinner gown. The cheerleading team has decided to storm the party in red, and you know I can't go cheap." Annabel's voice had a peculiar nasal whine in it. $1,000. Nathan asked in bewilderment. "The dress is actually $2,000, but I have $1,000 already. I need you to top up my account ASAP so I can pay for the dress. Hurry!" Annabel almost screamed into the phone. Nathan's voice broke off. "You what? Is your account having issues? Okay, I can come pick it up in cash." Annabel's voice grew more impatient. "Okay, let me make you a transfer," Nathan said, then ended the call. He paced around on the basketball court. He didn't have $1,000 in his account. The only money he had in his account was $100, and that was his 3 days' salary. He sighed. He decided to transfer the $100 to her account. She would understand after all. He did the transfer, then proceeded to call her. "Did you see the money?" Nathan asked when Annabel picked the call. "Oh yes, I did," Annabel answered. "Okay." Nathan smiled widely. He knew she would understand. The smile wore off when Annabel spoke again. "But I think you made a mistake. You sent $100 instead of $1,000. Annabel stated. "Check very well." No. Baby, it's not a mistake. I only have $100, so I sent it," Nathan responded. $100. "What will I do with $100? Annabel yelled over the phone. "Baby, I'm sorry. Aside from being on a budget, that is all I have on me. Maybe you can pick a more affordable dress instead," Nathan suggested. "Can you hear yourself? You want me to look cheap at a party almost everyone in school is going to attend?" Annabel scoffed. "Really? I am not asking you to buy me a handbag or red-bottom shoe. Just a dress, Nathan. One freaking red dress. Baby, it's not even your birthday. Please bear with me," Nathan pleaded. His brains tipped him off when he heard a man speak in Annabel's background. He was familiar with the voice of Annabel's father, and this wasn't it. "Has he sent you the $1,000? The man asked. He heard it clearly. He couldn't be mistaken. "Oh no, sweetheart. He could only afford $100. Can you imagine? $100. Annabel mocked. "He is nothing but a poor loser. I told you, don't roll with these fuckboys. They will offer you nothing." The voice laughed. "Annabel, who is that man?" Nathan demanded in fury. "Where are you?" "Shut up, bonehead." Annabel laughed. "Bernard is right whenever he calls you a bonehead or dingbat. I think dingbat is better, because that is what you are." All the while he could still hear the man in her background laugh at him and call him names. "How dare you, infectious poor cleaner, dream of coming after a beautiful girl like me, let alone having me as a girlfriend. You are poor and don't have the right to an erection or feelings. If you must have a girlfriend, then go after your class. Maybe the cafeteria's cook's ugly daughter or my gardener's daughter." Annabel said. "Don't ever call me again or think of talking to me in school. I don't want to be associated with poverty." Annabel added, "I gave you my 3 days' salary. Everything I had. Nathan let out a sob. "I. Pum." That was it, the phone dropped dead. Nathan stared at the phone in his hands, chuckling in pain and misery. That was everything he had. And now he was going to stay hungry for a few days. How could he call home and demand for money knowing his mother's health challenge? He sank to his knees, sobbing on the floor. Nathan laid face down on his bed. Tears of pain, frustration, and misery rained on his face, soaking his pillow. He thought to himself what fate had in store for him: happiness, blessings, and all the best? Or poverty, misery, and all the worst? He flashed back to how Bernard humiliated him, how he constantly bullied him in school with the other boys, how Annabelle made fun of him with some strange man. He couldn't stop the tears, he let the tears flow. After all, he was all alone in his room. He could cry himself to sleep if it meant him. He turned restlessly on his bed, facing up this time, staring at his ceiling. The hell? The ceiling was even leaking. Tick-tock, tick-tock. His wall clock went round and sounded ring-ring when it hit 12 a.m. on a dot. Hooray! It was his 18th birthday. Ding-dong. His phone beeped. He didn't feel excited. Still laid face up, he turned to look at his phone. He reached for his phone. The message was from his bank. He frowned, squeezing his face. A happy birthday message as usual, only that this year it came early. He sighed, pushing the phone aside. Somehow a part of him spoke to him to pick up the phone and read the message. Reluctantly, he picked the phone and glanced over at it. He looked closer and his eyes caught a figure. It was a credit alert. $100 million. $100 million in his bank account. Was this a joke? $100 million in his bank account? Nice one. His bank manager was definitely pulling some sort of stupid prank on him on his birthday. He remembered his last year's birthday. How Bernard pranked him. "Happy birthday, cleaner boy," Bernard said, walking up to Nathan. "On behalf of the basketball team, we say a very happy birthday to you. There is a new phone for you, an iPhone. Hence you don't have an iPhone, we contributed money to buy you one. The latest model, actually." "Really?" Nathan smiled, looking at his teammates. "Thank you. Throw your old phone away, man. Common, you've got a new phone." Bernard led him on. "Yeah, sure." Nathan nodded, removing his SIM card. He then threw his phone over the university's gate to a main road. "Good riddance," Bernard cheered. "Now take." He handed over a gift bag to Nathan. Nathan collected the gift bag in excitement. He opened the bag and discovered a toy phone. It was a toy phone. "It's a toy phone," Nathan said in confusion, looking at Bernard. Bernard and the other basketball teammates laughed hard at him. Some captured him on video and made memes with it later, circulating it all over social media. When Nathan realized it was a prank, he ran outside the university's gate to check if he'd still find his phone. It was there on the floor, but smashed. Car had probably smashed it. Nathan sat on the ground, by the road, screaming in pain. "My phone!" He was later escorted out by the security. Nathan sighed heavily. That prank was one of his dark memories he hated to remember. His thoughts got interrupted by the sound of another text message. He quickly looked at his phone. It was a message from his father explaining he sent $100 million to his bank account. As Nathan read that line, he frowned, with mixed feelings. He concluded that maybe his father took out a loan for his mother's medical bills. His phone rang at that point. It was his father. He picked the call. "Dad," Nathan said. "I got your message. I know the money is for Mom's health care and you took a loan. I promise you I won't touch the money and I will make you proud." "Nathan," his father interrupted his speech. "The money is for you." "What? Dad, what are you saying? Please, if this is a prank, stop it. What is it with you guys pranking me on my birthdays? Common. Even your dad." His voice contained pain and disappointment. "I don't know what you are saying, but I know I am not pranking you." His father took a deep breath before he continued. "We are not poor, Nathan. We never were. We are, in fact, the wealthiest family in the world." Nathan stood up. He looked at himself through the mirrored wall. His eyes were swollen, and right now this silly prank his father was pulling gave him a bad migraine. "We put up with this poor family charade to exercise our air. Give them proper orientation. Test their survival skills and prepare them to rule and inherit the empire. When the heir reaches 18 years of age, we send them their first monthly allowance, which I have done." His father paused, then continued. "Nathan, are you there?" "Yes, Dad." Nathan frowned. "Waiting for you to wrap up this prank." He wasn't finding it funny anymore. Such a nice way of celebrating his 18th birthday. His own father making mockery of him. "How is Mom? Can you please give her the phone?" "Nathan, I was saying something important. I am not joking." Something in his father's tone was deadly serious. "If you doubt me, then go to your bank tomorrow to check." Nathan huffed. "Don't make me waste money, Dad. I'm having a hard time in school and—" "Just check. I understand you are surprised. But check. After you've checked, give me a call," his dad said. "Okay, Dad," Nathan replied. "Happy 18th birthday." His dad went on to wish him the best things in life. "Can I speak with Mom?" Nathan asked. "Sure," his father replied. "I'll give her the phone." "Hello, Nathan. Happy birthday, son. I love you," Nathan's mother said, sounding all excited and happy. "Mom, what is Dad saying? It's not nice that he pulls this kind of prank on me, on my birthday," Nathan complained. "He is not. Everything he told you is true," his mother assured. "I promise you he's not lying or pranking you." "How? This is so confusing." "How? Mom, we have been living miserably, struggling to get you cured." "I don't have cancer," his mother said. "What?" Another expression of shock was written on Nathan's face. "You don't have cancer? Tell me you're joking." "No, I'm not. I'm sorry we lied to you for so long, but we had to. This is what comes with being the heir to your father's empire," his mother stated. "Please understand us." Nathan didn't know how or what to feel. "This is too much confession for me to handle." "Take your time, son. But this is no joke. Call me when you get to the bank later in the day," his father said. "Happy birthday once more." "Happy birthday, son." His mother screamed into the phone too, then ended the phone call. Nathan was dumbfounded. Was this true? Should he be sad he had been living a lie all his life, or should he be happy and embrace this new life? He fell on his bed, then stood up, jumping and giggling around. What did he just hear? If this was a dream, then he'd never wake up from the dream. If it was a prank, then he'd remain stuck in the prank. His family was the wealthiest family in the world. He currently had $100 million sitting in his bank account. He looked at himself in the mirror, admiring his sudden handsome features, his blue eyes and soft lips. After all, didn't Annabelle say money was the handsome features of a man? He stared into his eyes and suddenly felt powerful. Nathan didn't fall asleep the entire night. He kept pondering over his parents' revelation, imagining and fantasizing on how his life would be from now onwards. He got up early, had his bath, did his chores, and rushed over to his bank. He was too nervous to even have breakfast. He had to figure out if his parents were playing a prank on him. He nearly got hit by another when he got down from his. The bus driver cussed him out. "You rascal!" the bus driver yelled. "Do you want to get me in trouble with the legal authorities?"
I'm sorry.
He apologized even though he wasn't at fault. The driver was simply a careless man without a driver's license, maybe. "Sorry for yo mama, stupid," the driver yelled. He ignored the driver and raced towards the bank. He saw the driver park his bus and step out, chasing after him. The hell? What a lunatic that shouldn't be behind a gear. The driver continued chasing after him until the driver bumped into the police. That was Nathan's savior. He stopped running, panting. He quietly walked into the bank. He was initially ignored by people he tried to have conversations with. Even the bankers on the counter ignored him. "Good morning," he greeted the bankers over the counter. "Pick a form and fill it before I can attend to you," a man at the counter said. "No, I am not here to make a withdrawal transaction," Nathan corrected an impression. "Then why are you here?" "To check my account balance," Nathan replied. The man frowned, then paid him dust. He watched the man attend to other customers. He moved to the next person over the counter and the same thing happened. They all paid him dust. Feeling stupid, he quietly went over to customer care service and asked the staff he saw to check how much money he had in his account. He only prayed he met a nice person. "Excuse me, Ma." "Good morning." Nathan greeted him. "How may I help you?" The customer care, who was a lady, harshly responded to him. Her voice was impatient, and she wore a very unwelcoming look looking at Nathan's shabby clothes. "Could you please check my account balance? I want to know how much is in my account," Nathan demanded. The lady frowned. "Is that why you are bothering me?" "Excuse you," Nathan snapped. Was this a required behavior in their bank? Because what the hell did they mean? His temper was rising and he was out to lash at them. He was also a human like them. Whether or not he was looking badly dressed, he deserved to be attended to. Once again he felt useless. Cursed. No one liked him. No one treated him with mutual respect. He couldn't even afford the basic necessities of life. He lacked literally everything. "You can do that with your mobile phone," the lady snapped back. "You don't need to walk into the bank and bother us with that, please. We have more important customers to attend to. Miss, please just check my account balance," Nathan insisted. He clenched his jaw, trying to stay calm. "Call out your account number," the lady said, rolling her eyes. She couldn't wait to dismiss him. "Here's it." Nathan handed her his account details neatly written on a piece of paper. She reluctantly checked Nathan's account, and her eyes widened when she saw the figures in his account. Her lips slightly opened. She looked at Nathan again. She stood up and addressed Nathan respectfully. "You have $100 million in your account," she said, wearing a bright smile. Nathan was shocked. He ignored the lady's sudden nice attitude and buried his mind in thoughts. What his father said was real. He was rich. They were rich. He struggled with his breath, trying to mask his joy and surprise. "How is it possible?" "You must be the client I have been expecting," the lady said. "Any client with $100 million and upward in his or her account is our most important and valued client in our bank. You are to be served by our manager himself." "Okay," Nathan simply said impatiently. "While you wait for the manager, what do you care for? Coffee? Tea? Water?" she asked respectfully. "Coffee with cream," Nathan replied. "Right away," she responded with a smile and strode out. Nathan glanced around the bank, studying the environment. He saw Annabelle walk into the bank with a man by her side. Frankly speaking, the man was tall but ugly and badly built. Annabelle spotted Nathan at a single glance. She walked up to him. "Hey, bonehead," she grinned. "Looks like you still have money left in your account that you refuse to give me." "Huh? How much is left?"
$50.
She laughed mockingly. "Is this the guy who mobs the floor and washes dirty clothes for the basketball team to make a living?" the man asked. "Interesting." "Yes, sweetheart," Annabelle answered, putting her arm around his neck. "He is the one. We call him Bonehead or Dingbat." They both laughed hard at Nathan. "Maybe he's here to take a loan. Don't forget he gave you all his money, $100. The man laughed again. "Ah, poor thing." Annabelle made funny faces. "Maybe I should just return his miserable $100 to him. I'd be saving someone's life. Don't you think so?" "Yeah, I think you should." The man nodded his head in agreement. Nathan didn't say a word. He stood there looking at them, relaxed and chilled. "You're not saying anything? Are you dumb or deaf?" The man turned to look at Annabelle. "You didn't tell me he is dumb and deaf." He turned back to face Nathan. "This is no place for a challenged person. Sweetheart, just ignore the bonehead. Let's go cash out," Annabelle said dramatically, leaning against the man's chest. The customer care lady strode out of the manager's office and approached Nathan. "Hello, sir," she said respectfully. "Here's your coffee, cream-filled." She handed Nathan a cup of coffee. "Thank you." Nathan smiled, sipping his coffee, just the way he loved it. Money was indeed powerful. Now he understood the saying, "Money rules the world." Annabelle laughed horribly. "Sir? Common miss, don't waste your time. He's not worth the VIP treatment. He's got nothing less than $50 in his account." She looked at the man she was with, rubbing his chest. This is the real deal. Oh no, girl. The lady shook her head. He has $100 million in his account. And currently he is our most valued customer. Annabel and the man laughed. I'm telling you, miss, he is poor. Just yesterday he was just a loser with only $100,000, not millions. Don't let him fool you. He makes a living by washing dirty clothes for the basketball team in the university. He couldn't even afford to buy me a decent dress. Annabel added, Exactly. He is broke, dumb, and useless. The man said. The lady looked at Nathan in confusion. He looked exactly like a cleaner, a beggar. Her mind thought different things. Maybe the money was mistakenly sent to his account. From his expressions, he for sure wasn't expecting such an amount. No wonder he was desperate about checking his account balance. Well, the man took out his card, flipping it around his fingers. The lady's eyes focused on his card. It was a black card. She suddenly became very respectful because the card is exclusively from the headquarters of their bank. Only those who had over $200 million could have it. She quickly grabbed the coffee from Nathan and passed it to him. She looked at the card. The name there was Austin Delano. Good morning, Mr. Delano, the lady said. Austin sipped the coffee, then spat out. Yuck. I like my coffee without cream, plain. Noted, sir. The lady collected the cup. I'll see you have exactly what you want. Austin Delano grinned in an evil way. Only if they knew he stole the card from his father. This was his father's card, and he was used to stealing from his family. With the card he was powerful and women looked his way. The card was his beauty. He lavishly spent his father's money, day to day. He was after all the only son. His sisters would definitely get married someday and live with their husbands. His father's name was also Austin, so it made everything easier for him. He was Austin Delano while his father was Austin Delano Peters. But oftentimes Peters was always silent in his documents, giving Austin opportunities to steal from him. Can I see the manager now? Nathan asked. The lady's countenance changed. She looked at him mockingly. Please don't talk to me in that tone. Keep your manners in check or I will kick you out. Nathan looked at her in confusion. Oh, please don't give me that look. The lady snapped. I have to run a thorough check on your account. Her voice contained suspicion. We call him Bonehead or Dingbat. Annabel laughed. I'm just saying. Just in case you were wondering what to call him. The trio laughed, looking at him. Bonehead. Dingbat. The lady laughed. Nathan looked away, furious. If poverty was a person, he'd beat it to death by now. Just then the manager's door flew open. Are you Nathan? The manager, Bart, questioned. Yes. Nathan nodded his head. I am Nathan. To my office. Your account has some problems. Bart said in a very high and serious tone. Nathan quietly walked after Bart to his office. See. Annabel looked at the customer care lady. I told you he is fake. I can bet he is a fraudster, Austin said. You did tell me, the customer care lady said, rolling her eyes in irritation. Can you grant me a favor? Annabel moved closer to the lady. What do you want? The lady asked. Just in case he comes asking for a student loan, do not grant it to him, understood? Annabel's statement sounded more like a warning. But why? The lady asked in curiosity. He never pays them back. He is owing thousands of people at the university. Please don't fall prey to him and his counter schemes. He cannot be trusted one bit. The lady smiled gratefully at Annabel. Thank you so much. You are a lifesaver. I will make sure he gets no loan from the bank. You'll be making a wise decision. Austin winked. Austin looked at Annabel. I forgot my handkerchief in the car. Could you please get it for me? Yeah. Annabel walked out. Austin looked around, then pulled a paper and pen from the lady's table. He folds it into her hands after writing on it. The lady rolled her eyes first, before opening the note. It read, Call me ASAP. I will spoil you with money.